Good morning to you once again. Thank you so much for choosing NTV, turning on your world this morning with informative discussions. My name is Priscilla Regina Deluoga, and we're going to be taking note of embracing alternative sources of energy as a means of curbing environmental degradation. This morning, to help us understand this better, I'm joined by Alex Tumukunde, who's the Executive Director and founder, Bio Innovation Company Limited. You're most welcome, Alex, and good morning.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay, so let's first look at the environment as we speak right now in terms of degradation. We know that it's been a conversation, a reality that's been happening over the course of the years, but how bad is it right now in 2023?
So degradation is actually accelerating every other year. So because we have so many institutions, so many factories, so many households still relying on firewood and charcoal for cooking, and this is contributing significantly to degradation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in terms of these government agencies, we do have NEMA, we have the NEMA police, we have a whole ministry that is supposed to be helping fighting this degradation. Do you think that they are doing things in the right direction? Are they doing enough, or what more can they do?
I think they're doing their part, but I think they could do more.
Mm-hmm.
There is, if I compare to other neighboring countries, so like in Kenya, there is maybe a ban on use of firewood in from indigenous trees. The same with Tanzania, the same with Rwanda, but in Uganda it's different. So if that could be implemented here, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Firewood is a primary source of energy here,
Yeah.
especially in the most remote rural places and communities. It's the best way that they can access energy to keep warm, to put food on the table.
Yeah.
However, if we're going to go in that direction, then there should be alternatives. Now, I know as your company, Bio Innovation, there's alternatives that you have put on the market to replace firewood.
Yeah. Yes, so our company makes biomass briquettes. So we utilize bagasse, we utilize sodas, we utilize GNAT shells, and we make really a very dense biomass briquette, which is takes longer to burn and is also smoke-free or with minimal smoke.
Mm-hmm.
With this kind of alternative, it's not a complete solution in itself, but it would reduce on the rate of deforestation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the relation between the briquettes and you make and the journey that you are on reducing on, for example, tree cutting, for which people have to then get firewood?
So our mission is, if we can actually be able to supply, say, institutions, factories that are actually firewood heavy, then it would reduce on the need for firewood by these institutions, and then maybe the people in the local communities or people down there in the villages can actually have more. But what is happening now, the institutions and the factories who have actually the money, they take all the firewood,
Mm-hmm.
and the communities down there, they don't have any more firewood to use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the process that you go through to actually make a briquette?
So we correct raw materials, that's the bagasse, GNAT shells, coffee husks, and sodas, so which are normally not utilized, and then we bring them to our processing facility. We process them, we sieve them, or sieve big materials out, and then we dry the material, and then from drying we compress the material into biomass briquettes. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reality of the matter is that there are trucks of charcoal that now even go home to home doing deliveries, right?
Yeah.
How are you able to counter that nature of degradation in terms of environment if they're now gone to the extent of door to door? You no longer have to go to the market. Just call the guy and say, deliver my bag on Friday.
Yeah. It's challenging, and probably that's why I said we have to have, several alternatives on the table. Say from LPG gas to biomass briquettes to even charcoal itself is a renewable source. But the challenge is, what is happening is the offtake. So when you offtake too much, then the rate at which you're taking off is higher than what you can actually grow.
Mm-hmm.
So that affects the supply. at the end. Yeah.
And then in terms of commercial, so many people depend on direct firewood to do commercial. For example, bricklaying, those that have to harden the bricks must use the firewood to burn the bricks. Can briquettes do the same thing?
Yeah, they can. Actually, they have really big frame, like high temperatures. Yeah.
And how much of briquettes would I need in terms of tons?
Fortunately, or on site, one of our clients is actually like a ceramic factory.
All right.
So they are actually using them they are replacing use of coal to briquettes.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the challenges that you are facing in making the briquettes right now?
The challenges is the market. So people, they accepting the use of briquettes, they still feel like, oh, there's still too much firewood. But not knowing that the firewood is actually destroying the very environment we are dependent on. Yeah. And
then cost efficient wise, I mean, a bag of charcoal is at 60,000 shillings. It can run a normal home for maybe a month. So in terms of cost efficiency in comparison to charcoal,
so in terms
where do briquettes save the day?
So apart from briquettes, we are also starting a new line of pellets. So with pellets, you'd actually save...
Pellets like small balls?
Yes, yeah, small balls. So the pellets, so you'd actually make, in a month, you could actually use like pellets of 30,000 versus the one who is using 60,000. Yeah.
Okay.
And with the pellets, we have also a special stove that is actually going to be using the pellets. And those pellets, when you use them in that stove, they are completely smoke-free, completely.
There's also the debate of availability versus affordability.
Yeah.
Are your products available?
They are very much
to all Ugandans.
Very much.
And at what cost?
Maybe not all Ugandans, because we are operating in Kampala.
Only in Kampala.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cost, we sell a ton at 600,000 or a bag at 30,000. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, what are the pros and cons of briquettes in comparison to firewood?
So with briquettes, the smoke is minimal, because we dry the material to completely like to 10% moisture content. So the smoke, there is very minimal smoke. They have also very strong frame. So when you, sometimes firewood is not dry, so you have to, it produces a lot of smoke, and it also takes a long time to burn. But with briquettes, really very efficient, and they'll burn longer.
Okay. Yeah. There's a question: do briquettes bring a vo? Because now the matoke has to be continued steamed, but with vo, does it have a vo?
It does, but it's more minimal.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Alex, in your closing remarks, what would you tell our dear Ugandans, especially in availability and affordability of your products? So
what I would tell our viewers is that briquettes are actually affordable, and they are more efficient, and they produce less smoke, and they are eco-friendly. They are saving on the environment. So people should actually adopt to use of briquettes, and that would be really good for the environment. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Alex Tumukunde, Executive Director and founder of Bioinnovation Company Limited, trying to help save our environment with the source of energy that they have created, which is briquettes. Try them today, and you can test for yourself. We're going to be taking a short breather. Of course, we intend heavily to look into the recommendations of the NSSF probe committee, and we do have guests that are lined up to help us understand the realities, and if possible, any of these things, will they be ever implemented at the end of the day after this break?